Hello, my name is Abby Tharp and I work for the University of Florida IFAS Extension. I am located in Taylor County, Florida, and we are a part of the Panhandle of Florida. So what I'm here to teach you about today is survival skills. Learning to survive in an emergency situation or learning to survive in the wilderness is extremely important for everyone. Although woods-based survival seems most common for everyone, survival situations can occur in urban and rural environments too. What you will learn today is you're going to learn like basic survival needs, what your body needs to survive. You're going to learn backpack necessities, what you want to plan to pack for your backpack in order to prepare for your next outdoor adventure. You're going to learn about natural plants, both edible and poisonous, and how to use a compass. I'm also going to give you a few activities that you can do at home at the end. What are the basic survival needs? Positive mental attitude, air, shelter, warmth, rest, water, and food. This is what your body will need to survive. I would suggest staying calm in an outdoor environment in which you happen to find yourself lost or not at the location that you think that you should have been. It's important to stay calm. Maintaining a really good mental attitude will help you endure and be able to get to the destination that you need to be. Woods for a long extended period of time is you need a plan. You need to have a backpack ready that has essential needs. So if you were to get lost or if your plan doesn't fall into place how you would want it to be, you would be prepared to survive. So here is some essentials that you would need for your backpack for camping or hiking for long extended periods of time. So you would need a knife, you would need a lighter to light a fire, a garbage bag. Garbage bags can be used for lots of things. Some people use them for marking trails. Some people use them if a rainstorm comes up and you don't have the proper rain gear. So you can use that for many things. 1 to 2 full bottles of water and a purifier system for stream water. You need to think about high energy foods because your body can survive so many days without food, but you want to pick high energy food, high in calorie food. So if you were out for multiple days at the time or even weeks, you can survive. So I would use sports bars, candy bars, dried fruits, nuts if you do not have an allergy or a food allergy to those. So that's one thing you want to keep in mind as well. You want a map and a compass. A map is a really good thing to have if you're going on a hike in a national forest or park. That way you have land locations on there and you can use your compass to take you to those destinations. Rain gear, cool or warm clothes, a whistle or mirror for signaling, solar powered cell phone charger. Don't forget your cell phone. I would recommend sharing your location with your parent, your guardian, or whoever is responsible for you before you go out on a hike or an extended period of time in the woods. Sunglasses, headlamp with spare batteries and bulbs, a fire starter, which is the lighter, and a small emergency kit that had Band-Aids, proper peroxides for cleaning, and things like that. So those are the necessities in your backpack. If you really think about it, you could probably find some of those necessities around your house. And then you want to think about what you would need from the store to go purchase so you would have those things in stock. There's certain things that may have expiration dates, which would be your food that you would want to look at. You want to pack lightly is what I like to say, because you never know how long the trail's going to be. That's another thing that you want to make sure you consider when you're going out on a hike or you're going out into the woods. How far is the distance that you're going to be traveling? So you want to prepare with good shoes that have good soles for the location in which you're going to be in the woods. So what if you were to get stranded in a location? The first thing you want to do is stay put. People like to tell you that's the number one rule of thumb. If you go off into the woods and you can't find your way back, the best thing to do would be to stay put. And if you decide to move from that location, you also want to mark your trail. But I'm going to trust that you have really good planning skills and that you plan to have a location drop and share it with a good point of contact, a parent or guardian, and that you have really practiced up on your compass skills as well. You also want to know about what you can eat, what is good to eat, and what is bad to eat. If you happen to be in the woods for an extended period of time and you run out of food. So I found a few things that are very common in the state of Florida during this time of year, which we are in the end of May right now and moving into full summer. And one of those things is a dandelion, and that's a yellow flower. And they're edible. You can eat the entire plant. It's rich in vitamin A, B1, B2, calcium, phosphorus. It's really good for you. It might not taste as good as it is for your body, but if you are in a position where you have to eat something, I would recommend eating that. It's also can be made into jelly. So I'm thinking that this is a really sweet plant. It's not something that Miss Abby has ever tasted before, but I may have to try it now that I know that it's edible. And the roots can be sliced and cooked like carrots or ground up for coffee grounds. Another fruit is a loquat, and this is found on trees. So be careful when you're chewing, because in the inner shell of that is a nut, so it will, if you bite down too hard, it might hurt your teeth. So it's another one that's rich in minerals and vitamins as well. The leaves of that tree can be poisonous, but the fruit is not. So the fruit is edible, the leaves are not. Another common wild plant in Florida is blackberries, and you can see that at the bottom, and it comes from the rose family. The leaves can also be used for refreshing teas, and the fruit, the blackberry, is high in vitamins. So before you go out on a hike in the wilderness, you can do a search and find out what plants, other than these plants that are native to Florida, that would be edible in the area or the region in which you plan to hike. Might be some good information to have. So if you live in Florida, you know about poison ivy, poison oak, or sumac, because those are very common poisonous weeds in the state of Florida, in the Sunshine State. So the old saying is, leaflets of 3, let it be. When I go into the woods, or when I am looking at things in the woods and nature, and I'm around like bushy areas, I always try to be cautious of my surroundings. And the reason why I say that is because you could rub up on one of these poisonous weeds with a short sleeve shirt on and it rub your arm, and the oils off the leaves soak into your skin. And if you aren't aware of these different types of weeds, it can cause a skin reaction that you have to treat. So I like to say, if you're going to be out in the woods, in the deep woods, I would wear long sleeve shirts. I would cover my legs with jeans or some other long pant that would protect you from limbs and weeds and bushes and things like that. And I would make sure that I was looking around for my surroundings. So if you look on the left, you'll see poison ivy. And if you see their leaves are a little bit different than the one in the middle, which is poison oak. So one of the differences that you can automatically find and note in poison ivy and poison oak is poison oak does not grow like a vine. It only gets to be about a foot tall, so it will not grow as a vine, whereas poison ivy will grow as a vine. And you can find that in shrubbery around your house. I just had to kill some poison ivy that was in the shrubbery around my house so it wouldn't harm our skin. So the most allergic poison ivy and poison oak is poison sumac, which is a deciduous woody shrub or small tree that grows 5 to 20 feet tall and has sparse open form. So it likes wet areas. So if you're around a river or a stream, make sure that you are very careful of your surroundings to make sure you don't come into contact with that with your skin. So we've talked about what to pack for a backpack to survive in the woods. We've talked about how we need to plan properly for our outdoor activities and survival. And I wanted to show you this little poisonous plants that are common in Florida. If you look at this little chart, it gives you lots of different poisonous plants like lantana and red maple that some may not have known were poisonous. So just take note of that and do a little bit of research on what is poisonous in the region of where you're at. So how many of you have ever read a compass or know how to read a compass? Compasses is an essential tool in the wilderness, or what I like to call the woods, for survival, along with a good quality topographical map of the area you're navigating. Knowing how to use a compass will ensure that you're never lost. You can learn to identify the basic components of the compass, take an accurate reading of your bearings, and start developing the necessities and the necessary skills of navigation with a few simple steps. So step one is just to start to learn how to use it. Understand the basic layout of the compass. And as you see here, I have just a compass. The designs of compasses are all different. All compasses include a magnetized needle that orients itself to the magnetic fields in the earth. The basic field compass, also sometimes called a base plate compass, features the following simple components you should familiarize yourself with. The base plate is the clear plastic plate on which the compass is embedded. The direction of travel arrow is the arrow in the base plate pointing away from the compass. The compass housing is the clear plastic circle that houses the magnetized compass needle. The degree dial is the twistable dial surrounding the compass housing that displays all 360 degrees of the circle. The magnetic needle is the needle spinning within the compass housing. The orienting arrow is the non-magnetic arrow within the compass housing. The orienting lines are the lines within the compass housing that run parallel to the orienting arrow. So how do you hold the compass correctly? That's another important step. Place the compass flat on your palm, and your palm is in front of your chest. This is the proper compass stance. If you're consulting a map, place the map on a flat surface and place the compass on the map to get a more accurate reading. So find out where you're facing. For a quick basic exercise to orient yourself, it's good to find out which direction you're currently facing or traveling. Look at the magnetic needle. It should swing off to one side or another unless you're facing north. Turn the degree dial until the orienting arrows lines up to the magnetic arrow, pointing them both north, and then find the general direction you're facing by looking at the direction of travel arrow. If the direction of travel arrow is now between the north and the east, say you're facing northeast. Find where the direction of travel arrow intersects with the degree dial. To take a more accurate reading, look closely at the degree markers on the compass. If it intersects at 23, you're facing 23 degrees northeast. So understand, another important thing you need to understand is the difference between true north and magnetic north. While it might seem confusing that there are two kinds of north, it's a basic distinction that you can learn quickly, and it's an essential piece of information to learn to use a compass properly. True north, or map north, refers to the point at which all longitudinal lines meet on the map at the North Pole. All maps are laid out the same way, with true north at the top of the map. Unfortunately, because of slight variations in the magnetic field, your compass won't point to true north. It'll point to magnetic north. Magnetic north refers to the tilt of the magnetic field about 11 degrees from the tilt of the Earth's axis, making the difference between true north and magnetic north different by as many as 20 degrees in some places. Depending on where you are on your surface of the Earth, you'll have to account for magnetic shift to get an accurate reading. So, what I would like to challenge you to do is to learn to read your compass with using this set of information. If you have like a map of a park, a state park that would be in your city or your town, ask your parents or guardians to take you to that city park or national forest and practice with you, learning how to read your compass. You can also practice reading your compass by a starting point in your home and an ending point where you know exactly which the points of contact are to get to your destination. Another important thing to have is trail marking, and I've mentioned that earlier. And as you can see, I took a few pictures to show you if you were to ever go into the woods or the wilderness or the forest and you were to happen to get lost, it's important to make a trail of where you've been. That way, when the rescuers go out to find you or to hunt you, they will have markings. They will have information, because everyone needs proper information when they are looking for someone that is lost. So you can use tape, you can find something in your backpack that's bright, you might want to pick something that's bright and drop things. You can find old sticks and secure those to the dirt and wrap something bright around it and write something in the dirt, but just know that if it rains, it'll probably wash it away. So there's lots of ways that you can put footprints of where you've been in the woods in case you were to get lost, someone could find you. So, some of the activities I would like to task you with finding. Find some things that you can put in a backpack for an outdoor hike. I want you to grab up anything in your house that you could put in your backpack to plan your next outdoor activity. Check for edibles in your yard. Walk around your yard and see if you find any edible plants. You can look for other edible plants at a resource I'm going to share with you, which is edis.ufl.edu, and you can put in your search screen edible plants and a lot will come up. Find out if your yard has any poisonous weeds. Look and see if you can identify any of those weeds with a parent or a guardian. Try using a compass to take you from your front of your house to the backyard. Stay safe and enjoy the outdoors. I hope you found this survival skill lesson to be useful and helpful in planning your next activity out in the woods.